Like this video to support. Join our YouTube family now and never miss out on epic content, entertainment, and surprises. Hit that subscribe button. Let's start. Spoiler alert.
Costa Rica 2015. The Adventure Racing World Championship begins. Bear Gyral's commentary reveals that Michael Light is one of the best adventure racers who has never won a championship. Michael goes against team member Leo's advice and leads the squad out on their kayaks as other teams wait for the tide to change. When the group becomes bogged in the mud, Michael's willingness to keep going irritates Leo and Helen, who eventually compel him to call for assistance to help an injured fourth team member. Leo shares a video on social media depicting Michael's persistence. Dominican Republic 2018. Arthur, a stray dog, roams the city streets looking for food. In Colorado, Michael continues to prepare for endurance races. He enjoys a normal life at home with Helen, his wife, and their daughter, Ruby. He is unhappy working as a realtor with his father, Charlie. Michael and Charlie argue over Michael's desire to compete once more. Michael is disappointed that his legacy has become Leo's post, which went viral and terminated his career. Helen advises Michael to try to connect with potential teammates and sponsors to help him race again. Michael goes to Big Sur to see Chick, an older former champion who stopped competing due to a poor knee, and then to Hawaii to meet Olivia Baker, a professional climber and retired racer. He persuades them both to join his team. Michael meets with the senior team at Broad Rail, a corporate sponsor, and attempts to persuade them to support his squad. When they question his drive, Michael delivers a passionate speech about how he will win anyway and storms out. The Broad Rail team agrees to bankroll the squad on the condition that Leo become its fourth member. Michael pays a visit to Leo on the set of a photograph for a product that Leo is now marketing as an influencer. Leo makes it apparent that he understands Michael only wants him because Broad Rail insisted, and he asks Michael to own his leadership failures from the last race. Michael apologizes, and Leo accepts to join. Due to inefficient funds, the team lands in the Dominican Republic 4 days before the race and has significantly less time to train. While practicing, they run into their competitor, Decker, and the teams mock each other. The teams come together for a race launch celebration, and Arthur is among the competitors in the crowd. The next day, Arthur stumbles across 2 more wild canines that hunt him through the city's slums. He outruns them and escapes by getting onto the back of a truck. Olivia discloses at the start line that she is racing for her father, who has cancer, and the team rallies and strategizes for the next 5 days. The race starts on foot, with teams rushing along a jungle trail. Michael disputes Chick's navigation when another team breaks off, but Chick pushes back. Helen and Ruby keep track of Michael's progress online. The team arrives at the first rest area in 17th place. While resting, Michael meets Arthur and feeds him a meatball before the team departs. The team begins the second and third phases of the event, which include all-terrain cycling. They bond and joke while riding. They try to save time by taking a shortcut and are forced to climb a vertical rock face while carrying their bikes on their backs. Despite the difficulty, they reach the top and discover an abandoned zip line that they plan to use to fly across a massive ravine, all while their bikes hang from their waists. Chick and Leo make it across successfully, but Olivia is stranded in the middle when one of the cables breaks. Michael goes out to assist her, and the two manage to make it the rest of the way over when Michael comes up with a highly risky arrangement that requires Olivia to disconnect and swing below Michael and his bike. The team continues and arrives at the next rest break in 11th place. They continue to excel throughout the next 2 stages, climbing to 6th place by the halfway point, less than an hour behind the leading teams. Michael persuades the team to rest for only 35 minutes rather than the recommended hour, allowing them to compete alongside the other top competitors, including Decker. The teams head out at night in the pouring rain. Chick tweaks his knee after stumbling over a branch, and Michael offers to help him out by carrying his bag. Leo begins filming the team during a brief break until Michael removes his phone and throws it into the jungle. Leo becomes enraged at Michael for allowing them to compete, despite knowing about Chick's previous knee injury. Arthur appears in the middle of their argument, and the crew remembers him from their last encounter. The crew sets out again, and Arthur follows behind, pushing Chick when he begins to slow down. The team becomes lost after going through a tiny village. As they attempt to navigate through the jungle, Arthur steps in front of them and barks loudly, alerting them and preventing the crew from falling directly off a cliff. The team is impressed that Arthur was able to assist them, and they pledge to give him additional food at their next visit. The crew begins to cross a river, and Arthur swims away. Michael is hesitant to go, but they all decide to proceed. Arthur promptly returns to them, pleasing everyone. Arthur continues to accompany the team as they progress to the next levels. Leo becomes disoriented and starts puking up while hiking up a high hill. Michael wonders what Arthur's life was like before they met him, so he shares some of their food with the dog and names him Arthur the King. Leo's hydration worsens, so the crew hires a local fishing boat to help them cross another river and get to their next destination. The team arrives and learns that they are now in first place. Leo insists on continuing, but Michael decides that they will capitalize on their lead and that the team will take a longer break to allow Leo and Chick to heal. Michael approaches a race supervisor to try to obtain Arthur's care, but he is told that there are no vets. While Leo and Chick rest, Olivia tells Michael about her father's cancer diagnosis and how he encouraged her to run the race in his honor. Chick asks Michael why they had only 5 days to train. Michael replies that they couldn't afford more time and that he paid for half of the team's expenses with his wife's funds. As the team prepares to depart, Decker's team arrives and mocks Michael's team for their injuries and Arthur's presence. The group deduces that Decker is hurt and requires rest, so they grab their stuff and return to the course with Arthur. Helen reads the news and social media and discovers that Arthur has joined Team Broadrail as the 5th member, which she joyfully shares with Ruby. The last leg of the race begins with Decker's team trailing Michael's as they approach the start of a kayak stage. Due to safety concerns, race authorities refuse to allow Arthur to join the group on the kayaks, so Decker's team passes them while they debate. Michael reluctantly leaves Arthur behind, despite his whimpering. The team starts paddling out and almost overtakes Decker. Still, Arthur swims toward them in the sea, nearly drowning. Michael chooses to give up their chances of winning in order to turn around and save Arthur. They arrive just in time, and everyone agrees that Arthur's life is more important than winning. The team continues kayaking for the next 4 hours as Arthur's health deteriorates. They arrive on shore and begin the last sprint, with Michael carrying Arthur on his back. As they approach the finish line, Arthur gets down and runs with Michael, Leo, Chick, and Olivia, who eventually finish in 2nd place. The quartet celebrates and embraces, concluding that they already feel like victors. Michael brings Arthur to a local vet, who explains that Arthur's wounds from previous maltreatment have gotten septic and infested with parasites. The doctor recommends that they put Arthur down because they cannot perform the necessary operation. Michael insists on returning it to the United States, but he is informed that border authorities will not allow him to enter the nation owing to his troubles. Michael phones Helen and tells her about Arthur. Helen thinks Arthur is a fighter, just like Michael. Michael prepares to say his goodbyes to Arthur, but changes his mind at the last minute and takes him away. Arthur refuses to enter Michael's hotel, so the two wind up sleeping on a city street. Leo finds them the next day and drives them to the airport, where a big crowd has come to support Michael's efforts to bring Arthur home, including Decker and all of the competing teams. Decker admits that the team would have won if they hadn't turned back and promises to run a future race with Chick. The audience celebrates when Dominican customs authorities allow Arthur to go. Michael feels emotional when the airport officials drag Arthur into a cage to board the plane, but Arthur gladly goes inside. When Michael arrives in the United States, he discovers Arthur in the crate, suffering and motionless, and drags him out, where he is greeted by Helen, who quickly takes them to the veterinarian. In the waiting room, Michael discovers that their tale has gone viral and that thousands of dollars have been contributed to Arthur's cause. Helen also announced that she is expecting. Doctors do surgery on Arthur, but are unsure if he will survive. Michael lies on the floor alongside him and discusses their future together. 18 months later, Arthur has fully healed and runs across the Colorado Rockies with Michael. Helen has given birth to a baby boy, and the family is celebrating together. According to the epilogue text, the crowd-funded money raised covered all of Arthur's medical expenditures and established a foundation to help the well-being of animals around the world.
Please make sure that you like, follow, and subscribe to our channel. Check out the other videos if you watched this video all the way through. Cheers.